Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo has shown us how not to govern. But it is for him, His Excellency John Mahama, to show us how to govern. And yes, idea. Now we're here. When him and you are not the mommy. Okay, me say on the one you when him says o Feli Ghana for enche bia kubesi.
Wow.
Enche on one kind. If you know the Bible say enche bia Ghana for because otumu say Ghana for ni ji buga as a military approach. Normal content them na so for Ghana for ni jo. And this odi Ghana for yamwa enche bia kubesi.
But the way that the Attorney General appears to be poaching his own accused persons suggests that there is intent to undermine the course of justice. We will resist your princess rule. Thank you.
Every Nelko Edward Akuoko, Yaina free accused person is of 5 na aka 4, 2 adwane aka 2 na kan Akonta Mining anytime I want to be yay! Yay! Time I want to be na Hey, obi edane na ayamunti ana mebre sa nani akwa bebre papa yi ba bebre nya breketwa ni baba ko 5 anka Ghana Auditor-General any omu abedie no say the aka 2 because Edward Akuoko a we manager once we deflect say obedia dance here the next person eso adu Boahen kai say ono so the third person that third accused person me don't cause say or be witness or be testify to adu Boahen no and now on so go appeal on the lawyer attaching another appeal bio esa so all because almost say Attorney General and can on provide information about national security records be a date back our at the National Signal Bureau Akuoko 1992 I'm say hey now the late artist Ben Uncle for person me yema records national security records now exposing Ghana from 1992 say how many years ago ebesi and adai just a delay nkwan attach episode dey adu Boahen wodi for moment mfa no gotumu na munya dem ye
Amishada, you can't take him down. You can't take them one down. You can't take those 5 people kind of you can't take them down. You know it. You are fooling Ghanaians. Leave that office and let somebody who is ready to work and somebody who is ready to run away from corruption to work in that office.
And then the time I would me say me mistake fast and hurry up. Papa ni the American 10 time I go pay court in fact odru court before say court clerk ni kwa bedru all because the last time papa no bench warrant in Kebaba Swano.
Chairman, looks like today you beat everyone to court. You were here before 8 a.m. No chances of any bench warrant today. No risk. You are not taking any risk.
John Dramani Mahama any Daniel Yao Domelevo akodi nkomo. John Dramani Mahama says ofeli se ora be yaduma anhwe na coup ebesi di John Mahama so oyawe but enabia mi ka say chama Wontumi ne obeko jail chama Wontumi ni Akonta Mining Manager papa no say o deflect say onka accused person who bio papa say obe testify against chama Wontumi. First it was chama Wontumi the personal aid Andy and then I so better testify at chama Wontumi say second person no one managing and the manager for Akonta Mining so obe testify e dey tie obe witness e dey ma Attorney General enti eja sihye eja tuntum eja kokko achase e bobo ba chama Wontumi papa no ene ebusa ne question wontima nkasa ontimi nsere ase ne botae ne nsam ni na akanitrim ehu pa bema pa ba ana ne wa emresa no ei nyame odo wey eye naked truth our old Oldboga trends edi no da so eye ba ko pe Maxi Billian our naked truth our Oldboga trends no kura no ni na no ni fie ene ha make sure say over subscribe like it na share ma nua so enya bi ehwe na for comment to comment section na say John Dramani Mahama oni Daniel Yao Domelevo and Oyoyoko boss the former Auditor-General and also Papa Noka Oral Operation Recover Old Committee John Dramani Mahama tie no say na anu yayi o koka che John Dramani Mahama say papa yi enti de ekosu yi ohui ora yi asa ye too slow de ekona asa ense dem ko ye hwe ye anya sa asembesi ana say papa miami nim say de ekon de enye enko ye no say yo say unim de a enya ma ora no ntimi nya adwuma because Ghana for omu hope ni na ewo omu say operation cover all to ubeboa am ye nya sika ni na back odune ho say e possible ana say oh Daniel Yao Domelevo na ngobo say nkan no kre my adwin say ora no de say anya adwuma kura me ntiase because o say me heard the last time am who say Abrante your friend Captain Ibrahim Traoré Burkina Faso president be pie mo Ghana ha o say all the presidents free other countries are omoye elected democratically eba no ye bo obi adin obi anka hwe obi anye dede eno say nipa na work straight no wa chia na okọ ye ko bo Captain Ibrahim Traoré the entire venue obi asore ni sem papa emma papa fans sa ma papa hu say yes Ghana for dono broso entebesi na Ibrahim Traoré je say onu gwa oda ona o say the last okosi anu papa na gan say hey Ghana for dom yo ene say the be do no say enko ya na say be John Mahama ni go for Captain Ibrahim Traoré say hey na nua say on investigation mo na hu say Ghana for aye ready say omo mfa say soldier ban kwa na be ba omo pe de hian say Ghana no be yi enti ono no on twan mass anema na mesi and onimpe face say NDC and ono John Dramani Mahama efilia ahwe the next election ebe ye coup asem ahwe obi be ye coup na coup nim ebe pe John Evans Atamas odi utiye nyangopo atu ne safro John Rawlings odi utiye nyangopo atu ne safro na me na John Dramani Mahama na nado dan kwa akufo ado ene je kufo aya osi meni je kufo ne na nado de ye mienza coup ne ba omo de wa go gina firing squad afire ya kunye ni na because Omega said na involved in the corruption act into ono John Dramani Mahama na ni abre say any corrupt practice be ekoso bia no wani hu a if you see something say something wani hu nko ade aka na Ghana police for ni omuni say dey say nti no wama all the security agencies all the courts bibia no wama the independent right say any authority say mo fa nya aduma say the Ghana constitution kan na sa pepe mo nya na sa time for president interfere in cases no onye nti we end this ni na wa dwen say okobo kro no abefre no na waka bia je wode ahe chairman ene you go chiw pepe ubewi moko ma ohina tinsuo wa ndozo no de onye osuro se ku ba se pe yakunu agoku na friends en ono ne mane ne yere ne afa ne nyapade ni na enti ono wa ready say ono John Dramani Mahama operation recover all loot obeko all length and breadth ama na possible say Ghana ebe fa ne ntoma pafra
penyin on fan cheme menini edi nkomo bi na meka but menini permission say meka but on fan cheme misre na menini di nkomo bi encheye ina me di tu na anim say ohwe ekwan a Ghana for Faso agigi Burkina president Emra Oban is sharing in no ohwe ekwan Ghanaians area as against all other democratic leaders omuba empu yanti omunka enye se born ebo mudi anke enim se omuba empu a nje the Ghanaians are looking for leadership not democracy nti onwe yi na my democracy what means leadership ena me saying so reminding no say the minister for I think environment I've made definitely the one who told Nana Addo Dankwa in parliament said, you have taught us how not to govern. Mikransu Kachan say yes. Nanado, and I have no doubt with that, say Nanado Dankwa Kufado has shown us how not to govern. But it is for him, His Excellency John Mahama, to show us how to govern. And yes, idea. Now we're here. When him and you are not the mommy. Okache me say on the one you mu no nim say ofeli Ghana for enche bia kubesi wow enche ono akan if you know na buy say enche bia Ghana for because otumu say Ghana for ni ji buga buga as a military approach normal content them na so for no Ghana for any jo nti se odi Ghana for hiamo a enche bia kubesi na ni oka ka ho a no nwa kwa ni se o si se sa ku no si a wo mu former presidency na ya be chi o mi na ko foreign squad esutu o mako
wow
ono ane kan osandi to aso se Rawlings any atanos de omuti ya omawu nti omu de oma for mu we
ezaka ono ne kufo ne nana kufuado
oso wa omuti ase ne de onyini se omefo omu hu adi nti megini se onimpa se ofeli oman ya nsunsanso ade beba oman mu no enye papa nti megini se
John Dramani Mahama we de ne yanko case bi edra ho bia obi e ba bebre papa ye frɛ no Bernard Antribu Asiako dodo na frɛ no chama Wontumi na monsore ayamunti na ye no sa no papa no ene dua in the case sa wo court nti oye hurry pa ye fast and furious one ne lawyer and the appear kubi e go pie mu e wo court no go pie mu wo court aya papa ni bi say na dey na say ne wo ban terms say ade na wo ban terms hwe and say the last time now one man tema judge ne ma warning say hey usaye sanse nguri bie wa ho betire no enu ti no ban tema na chira chama akana no watum chama and as about before 8 o'clock still na chama Wontumi akana no watum ya say chama and no be say judge no punish bie ho na chama Wontumi atuma say an gantuwa walla tallahi ka for the guest ya oba kanu kure ashanti kwada papa na kana tum eyadie hi tuwati ejasis ye ejakoko ni ejatuntum asa she chama Wontumi na no ene ne to bole ejanu guni tem ejaguni tem ti papa ne se wa ye wa melo nipa na otimi dead John Dramani Mahama ne onya no kra na wakasa nipa otimi tre radio so TV so real money solid money liquid money and papa no money ontimi ngasa na je se no ko bi aje be ma no nya be ma ne be ma ne be mo be ma ne de wa podenta
We have two cases in court
na case na ye go kano Auditor-General na nka oni nipa baako 5 ana nka court na court no mo kono one Akonta Mining as a company no ko eno no one or the first a friend is saying First one na yene edi said the sene fata. Na second one papa ye fe no Chama Wontumi. Chama Wontumi so de no. Say on number 2. Na number 3 Kwame. Kwame asade ohun. Kwame asade de no so number 2. Na eno na ni na echi no number 4 aduane, number 3 aduane, number 5 papa ye fe no Edward Akuoko manager edima Akonta Mining. Papa no why fast hurry up. I go to Auditor-General say papa baby adunu de Mr. Court no me person mega se my boni bia me nye boni no kura bia minim as the manager edima Akonta Mining meka na say o say meka also oyo say say dey end the court every night ko Edward Akuoko ye na free accused person di instead of 5 na aka 4 2 aduane aka 2 na kan Akonta Mining anytime Wontumi gwa me Chama Wontumi na wie ni obi edane na munti ana mebra sa nani akwa bebre papa yi ba bebre nya bre ketwa ni ba ko 5 anka Ghana Auditor-General any omuwa bedie no say de aka 2 because Edward Akuoko manager once we difficult say obedia dance here ama a friend is saying Attorney-General.
Yesterday we saw a court document suggesting that the Attorney General has dropped the charges against the General Manager of Akonta Mining, Edward Akuoko. How does that affect your case? Because he's going to testify as a prosecution witness.
We have just been served with the notice of withdrawal of the 4th accused person.
Yes.
So they have come under the rules of court, so they have every right to do so. We are going to prepare our case when they are ready. It doesn't change our position. We have still pleaded not guilty, and we will come to prosecute the case religiously to the best of our professional expertise. Indeed, I always sound this warning that we should be careful not to attempt to influence decisions of court. Attorney General is also Minister for Justice, and his role as Minister of Justice is even more important than his role as the Attorney General and government prosecutor, because the justice of the moment is so important to every one of us as citizens of the country, because our emblem is freedom and justice. So if Attorney General, with all the materials available to him, all the resources available to him, including him being human personnel, if it is just for him to only rely on a former accused person to prosecute a matter against one of the accused persons or some of the accused persons, and he thinks that justice may not be undermined, that is his decision. But I would have thought that his role as Minister of Justice would have persuaded him at all times to be careful that the freedom and the justice of the government is served also on all the accused persons until they are proven guilty. But the way that the Attorney General appears to be poaching his own accused persons suggests that there is intent to undermine the cause of justice. We will resist your princess rule. Thank you.
Hello.
Kaise abre ya chi Charles Bisu ni Andy no ye personal aid Edima papa ye frɛ no chama Wontumi no ono so ekoka se plea bargain enti ono na ekoka ensem a ewo ho nyina no kura ewo ho nyina ema case against chama Wontumi no case no ekoye kese enti after say case ni koye kese wie no ene ni manager so say misuma ma mensa so mentro so me atonje na wusu adura na Dominic Akwetinga ayine wusu adura na say ya na adubu ahe case yi medrodon kwa we third accused person any a friend is on adubu ahe ne yere Angela Boaten ono so twen ne won say dey bi me so me testify me ka no kre ndi use me as a witness say so ekodu chama Wontumi a another person who is accused as dey bi me so me ka no kre am say adubu ahe ubedam chama Wontumi ubedam enti chama Wontumi manager dane we kalo na we na Kevin Taylor as Attorney General Dominic Akwetinga ayine papa uye too much you do all you sabi your job papa uni madwuma ne ye papa we correct guy o se Edward Akuoko de ente wadwane nyina no ono anu se chama Wontumi odi for awsa Tano Nimire forest ya na Akonta Mining galamsey wo mu ene Samra boy forest no o se onim se odi for enti o ma ono onkodam o ma kwam nkode no chama Wontumi si kai wa nya bi enti enya afa na oba se medimiti akoji atwerema se de bi ye pe obi na obi ni ti akoji atwerema no ebu asiako ena di ni ti koji atwerema no nti we so de ye fe no Bernard bo asiako enti ti no bo asiako betimi ni ti aja atwerema no kwa de ye okay enti ono be ya witness Kevin Taylor say why ka gudu wadwane ubadwane kalo
General Manager Edward Akuoko, after he offers to testify for states in Wontumi's Tano Nimire Forest Galamsey trial. Hesiano, Wontumi or Galamsey camping. Senor Ozi, the last time I checked, Wontumi wasn't a house help. He was a galamsey camping, and the government has gotten him. They are dealing with him. So stop that nonsense talk. Where are the campings? When are you going to arrest the camping? Unless you don't arrest camping. Campings are not balls in front of your thighs. Campings are criminals who dealt in illegal mining. Now, the Abato and then say, Attorney General, Chairman Wontumi, and Kofua na odi omudi djuma say Ghana and Sase. Odi Akonta Mining ewura Nimire forest mu a Ekufuado, Samuel Abujinapo, omu bie Ghana Forest under MPP say, Obia nwura mu nkodi asase ne nse no, aban sesan ya bechi chairman Wontumi adinigina court no. Ni nipa baako pa na one ne bokro no ene ne ko ebokosu atafre no, ende akwa ne se ono beso beko jail, into obeka ne nyina into ono, se sia no, oba be ye djuma ma Attorney General, oba be dia dansie etia chairman Wontumi, and your friend said that the government or the AG, they have flipped one of the suspects. And as I speak to you, Chairman Wontumi, the Gangalias Nibako, na oya manager, na onina a lady, Chairman Wontumi galamsey Jumadia Odi, was some of the forest around the nation, specifically a Nimire forest, no. And Sa Nipane say, Wakacha Attorney General, Chairman Wontumi sika onya no nkwane di ye, edan o si no nkwane si ye. Sa girls go form no moteta ejimi for girls si ono nkwane ko ye man kokoteta bi. Enti men ko jail ma Chairman Wontumi. Enti Okuoku Edward Okuoku say ono de opese Attorney General eboa no na obeka Attorney General ho na de wo mu bia no okacha Attorney General ne ye de bua Chairman Wontumi eni omamaka no for. Enti the Attorney General has been able to flip one criminal And you see, in all this, right, the Kingpin is still around. He's still under Ghana's grips. Now, as Attorney General to me flip a big shot like this, I don't care about the deal Attorney General and the Kati. I don't care. Say, Nipa no be anti-free, na se chema Wontumi come 30 years, I'm fine. That's all that I need. And it's part of prosecution. Prosecution is basically like barter trade. It's basically like a business investment. To make your case better, you always need to make sure, say, you have something that will convince the judge, the jury, that the person you are going after, no, that person is guilty of the crimes or allegations or whatever you have against them. Now, if even you have to go into that person's camp and get somebody in there and tell him, I'll give you a better deal. Because if you don't come and make sure you give me what I want to prosecute the one I need, you might end up at the same place. So I'll 30 years. I want to be 30 years. Now, who was the Sika Chema Wontumi di? Sika onya free gold. Sika onya free the oyem. Now show him. That's only Chema Wontumi kwa dem 30 years. So when the Minyansa, Obaka Attorney General say, you know what? No. Minjimi ye. Because Chema Wontumi edi enkwasiafo machi. Emabia omonum kopa guma omokasa omonum ntutuo edi se impro time na one eya inketiama eda out tatata no hono sa time na wuni hobi until you are not going to go to jail for Chema Wontumi. Until clearly somebody is reasoning ebia Akuoko no owoyere owoma omone ne kasa da Chema Wontumi be you go to good table so na wuni hobi o da Chema Wontumi able to na wuni hobi o Ujimi a Chema Wontumi no ono we sika kotu baby o ebi obetumi atwitwa no ho kakra ebi a wo kwa kodem 30 years o enti ka no kore no enti papa ne se enchine ye de ena mokoso de eye bibia e friend akweside so ede enti sa yomani nyina ontumi ema ne mpa no because wo hwe sibia akweside ye na woni wa se ne a we hu akweside eya wadwonjiri sa yomani nyina wo se na me okonko pa I'm going to follow Chema Wontumi for what reason? Chema Wontumi nya ne sike me a edan kakraka osi wensi bia ma me nkoku a no no mudei woni omtetata omuhui na me ni obi owura forest Ghana oil politics me obi anim me nti sesi aso be akosidei me kodem 20 years na akosidei sa 20 years me hu bi dabi se yenya akosidei nhwe de anka be tena fie ama Chema Wontumi akodem nti ye Chema Wontumi a exchange akosidei
na Chema Wontumi e de akoda no. The next person, also a Boahen Kai say ono so the third person, that third accused person, me don't go say ono so be witness, ono so be testify to Boahen no. And now ono so go appeal, ono the lawyer attaching another appeal bio esa so all because almost say Attorney General and can on provide information about national security records to be a dating back our at the National Signal Bureau, Akuoko 1992. I'm saying, now the late artist Ben and Kofi Pesomi. Yemo records, national security records. Now exposing on our own. From 1992, say how many years ago? ABC and Ada. There's a delay in one attaching happens with me. I do when you were for a moment for go to move. Now we had them. Ada in 1992, Sabesi Nada. Now I know na court to say, massa, Monkama say me. Court of Appeal not dismiss another Boahen case. See, dismiss up already. First one, Moko 5-0. And no say yes, second one, appeal said they be ye records, national security record from 1982. And also you are dismissing T. Boahen still Obakan Wasem, Obakan Ukraine. Now, Office of the Special Prosecutor, as you say, we're making arrests. We arrested Papa, your friend Freeman Saba. Freeman Saba is acting head of legal affairs at the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA. When you know about the Strategic Mobilization Limited, strategic ampa, no movie isika, egodi. Now, I know, and almost so ablenties were related to Sani Papa who says, I at your man can for that and a boss star person in the case, you know, also Yatino, Freeman Saba. Yatino, head of legal affairs. That's a Aquano, or no ground who say legal and 7 and came Kinko Jane, Baba so you fire. Now, no, Kevin Taylor say Abba Ubika. The all country Kisi Aja Ben say, hey, so our tactics now playing in a young. Or did they see I know Arashi will go through Esu obeti onche na asem no akonwe ne nse. O se say SML di ni. What na say ye ha ma na ye kase wi. Afa na oti obi bi ani amakote.
And why another settings or system nim. Yeah, sorry, OSP say there's a man or Freeman Saba or Juma or SML. Now information at OSP is spreading across on one radio stations in the TV station and they say this man has been arrested. You see, sign your man na OSP nani pebi didn't ho yaw. Anything I make a say the OSP Kisieja being office now free no a fee and to me free office. He is scared because he has offended a lot of people. Yeah, the Office of the Special Prosecutor arrests the acting head of legal at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Freeman Saba, over suspected corruption and obstruction of justice. Almost say papa wo yejuma wo Ghana Revenue Authority. Na ni nyina fa SML investigations are eyedien attorney OSP say wa ye anya ne nkofo nyina. Now this is not new. And they are sorry Kisieja ben say wakwachi man we ono ena sebio oye ejuma head of legal. You can say acting head of legal department ewo Ghana Revenue Authority eba Ghana Revenue Authority omomra sem nipa oda no ono ena Kisieja be say ende wakwachi no. Now unim dey see and myself I've spoken to some people who were involved in this matter. And I keep saying the OSP Sameda Akon and Akurugu, that Akurugu is one despicable man. Now our customs or port. Akurugu no and Labianca, may her soul rest in peace. Labianca some nebai no. Akurugu na trust our report now. Clear Labianca. Akurugu. Or one very slimy man. Or you OSP officer. Or no any Sameda Akon, any Kisieja Ben. These three people, they are the ones who make things up. And what they do is they have a way of making sure somebody is seen as a criminal or a suspected criminal in the eyes of Ghanaians. They have used that office to destroy a lot of careers. And these are things we cannot just sit and watch. Now, this is not new. OSP Akache say, we know a lot of documents on the SML scandal deal, no, and that he has even finished the investigations. And last week, the presidency ordered that contract, SML and Ghana contract, or GRA, it should be cancelled because the OSP came out to tell us, say he has conducted all his investigations, he has all his documents, he is going ahead to file charges in the court. And the Kawana say, and cancel the GRA SML contract. Now, the OSP, because of settings, because of he wants to create an impression he's working. Makachemo, this man has spent $50.5 million. Do not forget, Kisieja Ben, Sameda Akon, and Akurugu, si yabo salary chrewa, you'll be shocked. Yabo Kisieja Ben salary chrewa, yabo Akurugu salary chrewa, ne yabo Sameda Akon salary chrewa, and it's MPs 10. I'm telling you. And it's so interesting. Now they feel say there's too much pressure on the OSP. There's too much pressure on them to show working. They have taken a lot of money as budget. They did not do any job for the past whatever years we can talk about. Now they want to create an impression that they are going after people. They want to divert attention. So the OSP has devised a plan with Akurugu and Sameda Akon to create the impression, say, there are some people who are criminals he's going after. It's a lie. Now, do you know what happened today? This man, they invited this man called Freeman Saba to the OSP office. They invited him that please come to the OSP office. We have some questions to ask you. And this man, he went there, and the questions they asked him was about the SML contract and the documentation. And I was the contract and documentation, I drafted a lot of it. I handed it over to management. Management discussed it, and at the end of the day, they discussed and signed it. So my job as a legal head was to look through and present to management, because as the legal head, he is not the final decision maker when it comes to the GRA decision making. In the time of drafting Adiano, Sanka problem crowd one, at least Anka the head, people who are ahead of him, they are supposed to prompt and say, this part we don't need it. This part, that is why there's proofreading. People have to go through it before that document is signed. So when this man went to the OSP's office, he made them understand to say, yes, I wrote the draft. I put a draft together. It was discussed and later it was signed. Now the man, at the end of the day, the invitation you extended to him, this man basically honored the invitation. He came to the office. Now, when he was done, this man was cautioned and granted bail. Tio, Akurugu and a friend, Akurugu friend, no, or friend say Omra Eyadien, the asset recovery department. And how omo recover assets and whatever. So this man actually made himself available. He went there. And I'm not holding brief for this guy because time and almost sign up. But I'm telling you the strategy, OSP, his approach to issues, the deliberate attempt to make Ghanaians think say he's working. I don't care if this man is guilty of something. I don't care. They need to investigate him. I don't even know this man. I've never heard his name before. But from my checks today, time I said we cost because when I saw it, I was surprised. I was shocked to say, OSP someone back last week, suddenly Adiachi, Makochi we were GRA. No, because you told us you have basically done all that you have to do and you have wrapped up. But suddenly the OSP said, Makochi Papa we. So I placed some calls inside. And they see and they say, they invited this man. And OSP made Akurugu invite this man to the asset recovery department. That place where he manages and Samed Akon are. And this man honored the invitation. They asked him a lot of questions. The man explained, yes, he's the legal head. He drafted this. Management signed. Oh yeah, when you know now, what happened is you people cautioned this man and then you granted him bail, which he signed. Now, interesting, he was granted a self-recognized bail. He signed for his own bail because he doesn't look like a high voltage individual who was going to run. So he signed to bail himself. And you, Akurugu, you OSP, you Samedakon, you were all there and this man signed and left for his home. Papa we free one OSP at this story, the Joy News. He has been arrested by the OSP. Papa we free one OSP. Samedakon, his job is to go out there and spread this kind of news to destroy people. And what they did was, after the man had gone through all this, because if somebody has been arrested, then occur through all this, you grant him bail. Why do you later then turn around? Because you did not go there to even bring the man to your office. The man basically honored your invitation. Akurugu called him. He went there. You asked him the questions. He answered everything. You said, okay, you are satisfied. You granted him bail. He bailed himself. Now the man gets home and then people start to call him. Why? They said the OSP has put it out that you have been arrested. The OSP is an actor. He's a liar. The OSP of Ghana, you cannot trust Kisie Jabin, Makache Ghana for. If you want to win the fight against corruption, Kisie Jabin is not somebody who can help you and I or this country to fight corruption in Ghana. No. As far as Kisie Jabe is still occupying that position and calling himself the OSP, he will taint every single case. Right now, his strategy is, so who said, Attorney General, CID, Yoko baby, he'll go and touch it. Nobody can go there. Inti Makache Ghana for say, the settings from Kisie Jabe, the settings from Akurugu, the reason why those three people, they are bent on doing everything to protect the office they are scared. They have done people a lot of harm, especially Kisie Jabe. Kisie Jabe fear you said the day they will say he is no more the OSP. One Kisie Jabe, he might not be able to live in Ghana. I'm telling you. Kisie Jabe is basically like because of the things he's done. On the last Auditor-General I showed you a video. Kisie Jabe, the office he occupies, he has taken that office like and say he's not like a king, and he uses the OSP's office to intimidate people. And the fear in his eye, say, if I leave this office, I have dealt with a lot of people, and I know deep down I didn't deal with them the right way. There are some of them he used his office to bully them. There are some of them he used his office to have conversations with them he was not supposed to have. There are a lot of them that he basically is affiliated to. They have things on him. So his problem is when I leave this office, when I step out of this office, All these people who are quiet because of my position now will start coming out. How is he going to survive that? That is why Kissie Jammeh does not want to leave the OSP's office. Yeah. Kissie Jammeh will wish to say, Anka Abanwe, ebe free power. Nanka MPP Bape, Nanka Onwanka says step out. But right now, no, he knows, he say, there are a lot of people who are ready to take him on legally. There are a lot of people who have a lot of information on him. He dealt with some people in the past that he never thought power was going to change. Until when he was dealing with those people, he was too comfortable. Now, he had some conversations that he was so comfortable because he never believed power was going to change. Until right now, power society, those people, some of them, he has stepped on their toes. There are a lot of them who are licking his butt not because they love him or they like him. It is because they know that the day he will step out of office, they will take their revenge. And Kissie Jammeh knows that. And this man is a clear example of the people like Kissie Jammeh in the OSP's office. And they disgrace. That is what we are dealing with in Ghana today. Media means say onyaya ko America for extradite me from Ibrahim. We mean me brutal. Onyaya Obecho statement we talk about to say anytime Kevin Taylor is in Ghana, I am going to make sure everybody should make sure he is reported to the police because he has spoken against the OSP's office and that Kevin Taylor needs to be arrested. Hey, Kissie Jammeh, you have to do your job. You have to make sure the right thing is done. If you cannot take that office, step out. And it's so simple. If the pressure is too much, step out and let somebody take over. Why are you scared to step away? A cracker boy. Why are you scared to move from that office? Why are you scared? You are scared because of your past. You are scared because of the people you dealt with. You are scared. A lot of people raised issues about you. You could not prosecute Paul Ademotre. You can't jail Paul Ademotre. You want to jail who? Kenoforiata. You cannot jail Charles BCU. You want to jail who? Amishadai. You cannot jail Sisi Arapa. You want to jail Kano Damwa. What are you talking about? These are people who have made money. They are keeping raw money at home. They can fight you in court for 20 years. The tiny criminals, you could not prosecute them. Obidisa Paul Ademotre went to Manchina 10 years. Now when I'm Ghana say you are the OSP. Paul Ademotre is working, you could not jail Paul Ademotre convoy. This fool Paul Ademotre, a flimsy, dirty thief like Paul Ademotre, everywhere, you could not put Paul Ademotre in jail for 10 years. Then you want to jail Amishadai. Now, I am bibi ya mwong. I am Amishadai musomu yankwara. Unim blog a good unim what they control. Do you know what they control? Do you think it's the OSP? There are things you are doing that Amishadai is true. And I said Damwa, any of Makano. Those people, they are not scared of you. They have money. They have territories. They control. You need to go in force. And you alone cannot take those people down. You need a collaboration from the Attorney General's office, from Yoko. If you want to take these big fishes down, you need to go in. And not these comedies you are doing. These comedies. Ochina, I've gone to court. I've amended my case. You are filing vague cases. These people are guilty. You can take them down, not by you alone. And you see, the kind of job you are doing, you cannot take these people down. Amishada, you can't take him down. You can't take Damwa down. You can't take those 5 people. You can't take them down. You know it. You are fooling Ghanaians. Leave that office and let somebody who is ready to work and somebody who is ready to run away from corruption to work in that office.
Now, former Assistant Secretary at the office of the former president, Nana Akuoko Fado, Nidi Ibrahim Ajay, Papa ne say Sa Ghana Revenue Authority ni Strategic Mobilization Limited contract no. Oso ne kura nyame anim nie. Nyansen nim ba ku say. Oso sa bill ne ni kwa say bam say. Nanado past former Assistant Secretary. Wona wo adwinsa no. Nanado wo fa na wo kana asem no. Oso kedo for yata. Di omu ko say e contract omu ko say was SML for yi. Na omu kura omu nya matured enough. Company yet 4 months because corona the person went near quality company or say na onye ready so be handle bibisa aside that GA the crowd in the department or handles anya aduma near the mama SSML for no. At the same time, yes, I a single sourcing. Now there's a bagu for near the amano. In so say, yeah, mamma for tender mayina, yes, selective your panel debi. There's a bagu from Kwame. Also from onset day one. Now contract no a bon corruption, and mama. So where in this is as we can rather. Na Ghana Fuenti, KPMG for report you buy Nanka Senka, a Hona Nanke Chasso. But fortunately, John Dramani Mahama are ordered for the immediate termination of the SML contract. And after so terminated Zoom live because Manasa Zuri so Mokons are awareness are and yeah Zoom live contract metrum. And the SML contract to Manasa Zuri and in the fourth estate force started by and as John Dramani Mahama were trained away. Manasa Zuri was done as say, hey, John Dramani Mahama, we the listening president. In fact, o second coming there, we John Kwame and Krumampa. But according to Ibrahim, or said this particular contract was bogus, not needed and unnecessary.
That it was indeed, given the facts that were presented to us, Nana, unnecessary because you have agencies within the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, who do this work. In terms of making sure that there's lack of leakages, revenue mobilization on the GRA side. Then when you come onto the, what do you call it, the upstream and the downstream that they were mandated to do. Again, we looked at the evidence. At the time we were discussing this some few months ago. And the evidence showed that it was an unnecessary, how can I call it, intervention. I believe at the time, not just now, the whole issue about the PPA, the Public Procurement Authority. Rejecting this single source application, you know, for SMEL then it was, if you recall, SMEL or smell, and then later I think for branding they just changed it to SML, was unnecessary. If the PPA rejects you 3 times for single source funding, on what basis? You are 4 months old, the company, am I right? You have not shown any historical capacity or technical know-how, because it's not about how long you are. You can be a young company but with the requisite skills. So both in terms of the longevity of the company and more importantly its capacity to deliver what it's saying, the PPA said no. If we're going to do this, why should we sole sourcing? Let other people come in and we can determine the efficacy, the usefulness of engaging such a thing within this sphere, to look at revenue mobilization or leakages and you know, the things that it was contracted to do. Because you had, in terms of the GRA, you have icons there, you know, and I think there was issues as to whether or not a previous company had the same thing, and it wasn't after that company, then it came, icons came into it. So what has happened now, and I can only repeat, and as I say, if you're on YouTube, it's maybe Google SML Channel 1 and you'll come to this discussion that we had. So my position has not changed. I didn't see the need for it, and then the amount of monies that we were looking at, or we're hearing, again, Nana, we were only responding to the evidence against that before us. Just like today, we're looking at the KPMG report, because remember, under President Akufo-Addo, it was Manasseh who did the investigation, the fourth estate. And to the government's credit, SMEL was then suspended while KPMG did the necessary investigations and the auditing. It found out that, again, the upstream had to be cancelled. You know, in terms of the downstream, I think there was some suspension in its activities there, because the Akufo-Addo government, per the KPMG report, the white paper that came out of it, pointed that there were clear infractions in the whole process.
Now, when the Esri, hey, according to Mike Amon Kwafo, or say corruption, see, Kadia Basabasaya, Miboso, from Tamaun to Mikosi Dubai, Kosi, a fairness and free mind, a Kosi Kano for their Tamu Denino, say, no Konya Minian say, Bama Yetebia. Ye tell me a pair doctor you too much. Chase you will be a baby. Chase Bema see no collect, de be a person buffum pa. Eh? Or say intricacy, de be a pempamo grady. Corruption in an diaba. You got yes, come on. near dress near impressive man, near to say, oh, not a club, no, what on no, or renance and woody, or since you came over the bed, I want for here. Say, Cardi, a baby, Yabanum, Yelibet dress school fees. Neither you to try and want baby other day, and come among ones that are more chronosa. Now, Chrono, may make body nan, hey, no do in nan, 3, a mount, but someone on that. Almost so many man that rough of anything on more chronometers are. Now give to one and also to be a video. The man on more chronometer. There you go. And I'm not front in album. Okay, Obanya Sika on Fabemania, Bemonia Sika, young Mabby. As when the Korea say, Sa polygamy a ba ye, Nina ba Senanka ja, Teteno, now order do one, a boy, MOU with Duma, and then Kabema Ben and Capes of water door, and Kayajai, and they monogamy ye. And just a wounds a Bema Bako. Nempinanum bebre o mami baku o papa bebrea ena de sa asem no ni na ye enye dwama nsem ke ye krono na de sa nima we na ba ya si papa Mike amom kwafo o kan sem
one of the things too that is responsible for corruption and things is because of our third leg. A lot of the extra income that people want to make is because of the largesse of living a life beyond what is stipulated. I think what is stipulated is that you get married and you stick to your wife. So when you have all these girls and things beyond that ambit, it's extra expenditure, isn't it? So you look for the money to do that. What happens if you sit in a position where you take decisions about money and where it should go? Won't you dip your hands in? Because all those girls who want to show off to their friends are on top of you, and you are catering for them.
How about our traditional polygamists who had 2 or 3 wives?
You see, that's polygamy and wives. Traditionally, the reason why they married more was that a man's power was in his workforce. You know, you had additional human beings, and so you had a tribe pretty much, you know, and because of the kind of work they did, you know, these were pastoral jobs and so on. So you that's why you married more than one and so on. How different are two women? Okay, well, suppose they will be different in the way they feel when you hold them or something. But basically, when you're having sex with another woman other than somebody else, I don't think it's any different, because what is happening is actually you. You could even be having with a dog, and you will still get the same whatever that you want to get. So it's a certain something inside us, and that's why God made it so. He gave us those break points, like self-control, because it can take you overboard. You know, I'm not being holier than thou. I know some things that I wouldn't like anybody else to know, because I'm human anyway. But I'm saying that, you see, we are not socialized because we never think of the repercussions of our own actions and so on, how they impinge on other people's lives. You know, you are giving yourself extra expenditure that you are taking from sources that don't belong to you, and you're denying other people of their resources.
Compounding issues.
All that thing, you know. So some of it, I'm not a specialist, but if we sit down and get analytical, a lot of the corruption in Africa is because we don't know what to do with our penises. Yes, you can hashtag it. No, I'm dead serious.
No, I get
you know, we have to be upfront with some of these things. We
Does that mean the men are more corrupt than the women?
Do you want to go into that debate?
I'm just asking a question. Because you're talking about third leg. Women don't have third legs.
With I may be wrong, but I think that when it comes to corruption, men are usually more corrupt than women are.
Or is it that women can hide it better?
I don't want to go there, you know, because you see, I'm a man too, so I know what I know.
Yes, John Dramani Mahama, or say corruption now, all fighting, Operation Recover, all looter, all fighting. Wakate Daniel Yao Domelevo part was away, then you cross what can be gone, man the permission. Bobeka Amagana Fuati, as I say, John Dramani Mahama, a eager poise, so be fatty against galamsey, because Papa say Osuro say one man fighting against aura, one man fighting against corruption. Massa, the besi nyasem get to Ghana for beyeku ediatia no. At the same time, Papa no asa order says Strategic Mobilization Limited contract on the GRA sign Ghana from area Ghana sika corruption no basa. I don't see a pecking for that 13 year. Or the contract near term with immediate effect or the 7 days pay and a diato so. And no question got that. Chama Wontumi nim Akonta Mining Manager Akuoko. Papa na dwane de free Chama Wontumi ati. Akuoko di Attorney General or say my accusing you go no the fifth accused person. Our Chama Wontumi ni Akonta Mining case no. Or say obey witness or better testify or be transfer and also be come cry. Eddie tie ono an form up the boss. Friend say Chama Wontumi si baby adri from Andy. No any personal aid and there Akuoko as so Akuoko defend it and as Akuoko can be the Attorney General. I'm see baby adri the Chama Wontumi da no bedemu da no bedem enti se unu se Chama Wontumi bedem de anye kaze yeah so no ma kasi no se baby adri no se John Dramani Mahama so osuro se ora anya adwuma na se ye betima ye coup d'etat ana ye wie coup d'etat na anhwe ono na nado ene John Adekungu vo anhwe ye be fire mu na be ku mu ni na enti se hu ni nti osuro so fight ema ora atimi ye adwuma me say yes wey some fears are good say who fear wey na say eye pa say unim say want man ya Ghanaians are getting crazier and crazier each day and you must make sure say operation cover all loot no e be adwuma nti wey no we a party member ground on favor we MPP near on favor we betima dey saying onyai obey because osuro for on life. This is the kind of fear we want people to have. People have to fear that if I'm stealing and I'm caught, I'll be arrested, I'll be jailed into prison, I'll go for life. Yes, have fear because the only time you can actually exercise a fairness and discipline is by putting fear in people. That's the only thing. And other countries that are successful in fighting corruption to its minimal form now, such as Singapore, China, and no more developed all because they made sure so only fear. One hour perpetrators and so far working John Dramani Mahama and passing upon one corner. Papa say oh the same fear into over fight I'm making sure say Ghana every for God and country. John Dramani Mahama Onapu John Ababio John Kwame Nkrumah Papa no nanu ehwam ampa he's the abam papa na bo hey enti eme de ma fili hu na e woni mu na ngasa ya mi okay de mame so osura because e bet mesi so ampa de be Ghana fo adwen say ase toroto ko no e bet mesi for comment no fa to comment section na se uya subscribe like na share ma unya esu enya bi enwe edi no eye ba ko pe Max Billian our naked truth on Oldboga Trends Macro. Bye bye.